There she is. Worked my butt off today just to get it into the driveway. Long process. The dolly I had was locked up. Went ahead and pulled the drive shaft. Was going to tow it home with the dolly, but the dolly I was using was locked up, and whenever I tried to make a turn with it, it actually snapped the lock in the steering column on the Mustang, which it doesn't matter because this sucker's going to have to come all the way down. It's sat in a barn quite a while. It has the original Ford 302. In 1972, these cars, I think, only had about 141 horsepower. It's got a 3-speed automatic, which when I took the drive shaft out, feels as though it's got a lot of play, and absolutely no fluid came out of the tail shaft. So, you know, I'm assuming I'm going to have to rebuild that transmission. You see here, it's got a 2-barrel, probably a Holly. That's what Ford used. These doors, you know, they got some cancer in them. It's going to be a problem here. Not quite sure how I'm going to replace or take care of that. Get the doors resheeted, but I'll have to look into and study body work. This is going to be a long-term project. These corners, I don't know. It feels like paint chipping. I certainly can't jam my finger through there, but I'm sure you could with a screwdriver. Rust in the bottom of the doors. So, you know, I very well may have to find some doors for it. But, just as any old project, it's going to have to be gone through completely. The gauges are in good shape and they're all there. The lenses are just dirty on the outside. If you brush them off and look beneath them, they look new. These I may change to performance gauges and just put these back and save them. The tachometer's hung there, but I will go through that and try and keep the original tachometer. The floors do feel solid, I will tell you that. But again, no, they've been patched here or there. As you can see, the floor panel's going to have to be cut out. New one's welded in. Which, you know, kind of expected that. I kind of like this little wheel. I can probably sand and refinish this. I want air conditioning in it. And this is nice. I do have all the hubcaps. And I want to change the interior color. I'm not too interested in the original grabber blue. Rear lap belts. It's going to have seat belts put back in it because I see the mounts, so that meant that it did come with them. Some pieces missing, some trim pieces and stuff. It'll have to be completely rewired. My wife and I have decided that we're not going to go back with a grabber blue. These cars, you know, in perfect condition, restored factory specs, you know, they may be worth $13,000. So to us, it'll be worth a lot more. Just customizing it to our taste, and it's got a hood on it. It's not a grabber hood or anything. It's just a standard hood. But my goal for it in the future is to over the next 5 years start collecting parts and also tools. I'll have to buy a lot of tools, and we're looking for a bigger place with a shop. We've been living conservatively and trying to save, but at some point I would like very much to have a blueprinted and balanced 343 stroker kicking about 400 horsepower, rebuild the 3-speed automatic that's in it, put maybe about a 2200 stall on the converter so it launches a little bit when it takes off. I'll have to teach my wife how to drive it. And then we'll go through the rear end, maybe even something a little more solid for the rear end. And 3-inch exhaust, headers, you know. And then maybe a nice candy apple or cherry red. I've never had a red car. But that's it. There she is. That's my newest long-term project. And it is a Mustang hardtop. It's not a grande. It was the most basic of the basic. They came factory also with it was probably a 300 inline 6, which probably had some good low end torque and was fuel efficient. But the fact that they had a small block V8 that only made 141 horsepower gives you an idea of where they were with the fuel crunch. And it's not a small car by any means, but I know a lot of them had the strut braces that came across. You know, the strut towers feel solid on it. I think she's workable. I think the front cross member is real solid in it. It's never been wrecked from what I can see. All of your bumpers are real straight on it. But, you know, first thing I'm going to do is hose it off right here and now. Alright, we did hose it off some here. Let's get all the crud, animal bone, and squirrel nuts out of it. I believe the crud that I got out of there. And notice this, it's definitely going to have a windshield. The side glasses are good. All the everything rolls up, which is nice. I've got all the hoop caps for them. 2 more in there. We got some problems back here though, rust wise. I'm not real happy with it, but you know, I'm sure it could be a hell of a lot worse. You look at this up in here. It's going to need a new trunk. I may need a donor car before it's over with. A few little holes here and there in the trunk, and I may go ahead and hose this out just to see a little better, and then again I may not. I may just vacuum it. Actually, I think that's what I'm going to do. Just vacuum it and keep it from getting any wetter. It's not rusty completely out, but this pan is going to definitely have to be cut out and replaced. Any of these parts that I can find, I'm going to need to start collecting. You see the rats chewed all the way through the back seats. Speakers are gone. I can see that's an obvious issue. Get back in here, you see all this is bad. And this whole back end piece. There's a bunch of crud down in there. I'll vacuum that out without trying to get water too much in there. I am going to hose out all these tracks and rails though.